capturing Zebah and Zalmunna. The men of Ephraim asked Gideon, "Why have you treated us like this? Why didn't you ask us to help you when you went out to fight against Midian?" In anger, they challenged Gideon, but he answered them, "What I have done isn't anything compared to what you have done. Ephraim's graves have been gathered. It wasn't left over better than all the graves that have been gathered from Abiezer's vines. God handed Horeb and Zeb over to you. They were Midianite leaders. So what was I able to do compared to what you did?" After Gideon had said that, they didn't feel angry with him anymore. Gideon and his 300 men were very tired, but they kept on chasing their enemies. They came down the Jordan River and went across it. Gideon said to the men of Succoth, "Give my troops some bread. They are worn out, and I am still chasing Zebah and Zalmunna. They are the kings of Midian." But the officials of Succoth objected. They said, "Have you already killed Zebah and Zalmunna? Have you cut their hands off and brought them back to provide it? If you haven't, why should we give bread to your troops?" Gideon replied, "The Lord will hand Zebah and Zalmunna over to me. But he does, I'll tear your skin with thorns and desert bushes." From there, Gideon went up to Peniel. He asked for his men for the same thing, but they answered as the men of Succoth said. So he said to the men of Peniel, "I'll be back after I've won the battle. Then I'll tear down this tower." Zebah and Zalmunna were in Karkor. They had an army about 15,000 men. That's all what there left of the armies of the tribes from the east. About 120,000 men who carried swords had died in battle. Gideon went up the trail in the people of the desert had made. Then it ran east of Nobah and Jokbeah. He attacked the army by surprise. Zebah and Zalmunna ran away. They were the 2 kings of Midian. Gideon chased them and captured them. He destroyed their whole army. And Gideon, the son of Joash, returned from the battle. He came back through the pass of Heres. He caught a young man from Succoth. He asked him about the elders of the town. The young man wrote down for him the names of Succoth's 77 officials. Then Gideon came and said to the men of Succoth, "They are Zebah and Zalmunna. You made fun of me because of them. You said, 'Have you already killed Zebah and Zalmunna? Have you cut their hands off and brought them back to provide it? If you haven't, why should we give bread to your tired men?'" Gideon went and caught the elders of the town. Then they taught the men of Succoth a lesson. He tore their skin with thorns from desert bushes. He also pulled down the tower at Peniel. He killed the men in the town. Then he spoke to Zebah and Zalmunna. He asked, "Where are the men like that you killed at Tabor?" "The men like you," they answered. Each one walked as if there was a prince. Gideon replied, "Those were my brothers. They were the sons of my own mother. You can be sure that the Lord lives, and you can be just as sure that if he had spared their lives, I won't kill you." Then Gideon turned to his oldest son, Jesser. He said, "Kill them." Jesser didn't pull out his sword. He was only a boy, so he was afraid. Zebah and Zalmunna said, "Come on, do it yourself. The older and the stronger he is." So Gideon stepped forward and killed them. Then he took the gold chains off the necks of their camels. Gideon's linen apron. The Israelites said to Gideon, "Rule over us. We want you, your son and your grandson to be our rulers. You have saved us from the power of Midian." But Gideon told them, "I'll not rule over you. My son won't rule over you either. The Lord will rule over you." He continued, "I do ask one thing. I want each of you to give me an earning." I'm talking about the earnings you took from the enemies. It was the practice of the people in the family line of Ishmael to wear gold earrings. The Israelites said, "We'll be glad to give them to you." So they prepared out a piece of clothing. Each of the men threw a ring on it from what he had taken. The weight of the gold rings Gideon asked for was 43 pounds. That didn't include the moon-shaped necklaces the kings of Midian had worn. It didn't include their own other necklaces of their purple clothes, and it didn't include the gold chains that had been on the necks of their camels. Gideon made an object out of all the gold. It looked like the linen apron of the high priest of Israel wore. He's crazy. Gideon placed it in Ophrah. That was his hometown. All the Israelites worshipped it there. They weren't faithful to the Lord, so the gold object became a trap to Gideon and his family. Gideon dies. Israel brought Midian under their control. Midian wasn't able to attack Israel anymore, so the land was at peace for 40 years. The peace lasted as long as Gideon was living. Jerubbaal, the son of Joash, went back to home to live. Jerubbaal was another name for Gideon. He had 70 sons of his own. That's because he had many wives. And he had a concubine who lived in Shechem. She also had a son by him. Gideon named that son Abimelech. Gideon, the son of Joash, died when he was very old. He is buried in the tomb of his father Joash in Ophrah. Ophrah was in the territory that belonged to the family line of Abiezer. As soon as Gideon had died, the Israelites began serving and worshipping gods that were named Baal. Israel wasn't faithful to the Lord. They worshipped Baal Beris as their god. They forgot what the Lord, their God, had done for them. Then he had saved them from the power of their enemies all around them. Jerubbaal had done many good things for Israelites, but they weren't faithful to his family. Jerubbaal was another name for Gideon. Box time. Did you know what was the linen apron used for? Chapter 8, 27. The priest wore linen aprons when they led worship, but the priest did not wear Gideon's apron. Later, some people of Israel worshipped it. Dear God, learned about Judges chapter 8 today. We will never be a person like Gideon. We will not sin to the Lord. Be faithful, and be faithful to everyone who worshipped God, worship you, and never make something like that with the Gideon's gold linen apron. I won't make that until I die, I promise. And thank you always. You'll be a faithful person, and amen. Okay, so let's just be a faithful person, and I say goodbye. So thanks for watching my videos. I hope I see you next time. Don't be a person like Gideon. Yeah, don't make something like that and worship God. Okay, so let us say goodbye. So thanks for watching my videos. I hope I see you next time. So goodbye. See ya.